And we begin with breaking news in Dallas, where a student has been shot at Thomas Jefferson High School. It happened right after the last bell, just outside the school. Now, we're working to find out how old the student is, but we know paramedics rushed the victim to Presbyterian Hospital about 5 miles down the road. Thank you for joining us. Izzy's off today. I'm Chris Lawrence. Thomas Jefferson is west of the tollway on Walnut Hill Lane. There are roughly 1,600 students on campus any given day. Teresa Woodard arrived at the scene right after the shooting. Give us an idea of what's happened.
Well, Chris, I want to start with important news. We've heard from DISD and DPD that this student was shot in the arm, non-life-threatening injury. So that's a bit of a sigh of relief for everyone who has a student at Thomas Jefferson. I'm going to step out of the way and have photographer Josh Steven zoom in on the live scene unfolding behind us. You can see quite a bit of police activity, Dallas ISD police as well as DPD police. Just in the last few minutes, we saw police allowing some of the students at Thomas Jefferson High School into the student parking lot in order to retrieve their cars. As you said, Chris, this happened just as school had let out, about maybe 15 minutes after school had let out. I want to take a live look on the other side of the campus from where I am right now. We have a live camera over there, and I believe you can see students sort of milling about. They did resume dismissal once they realized that the situation had been gotten under control here. The shooting happened in the northwest corner of the campus, so students are sort of dismissing right now on the other side of campus from where we currently are. Because this happened late in the school day or after school was out, you can imagine most students had left, but there of course are still some students who are there who are taking part in after school activities, and they were the ones who were sort of inside the Thomas Jefferson building for a while. But again, once they realized that the situation was under control, they did start allowing dismissal to resume. We did, as we were on our way here, we were on Walnut Hill Lane, and we saw the ambulance actually passing by us, taking that student to a local hospital. Again, just to reiterate, we're told the student has non-life-threatening injuries, was shot in the arm, and was transported down Walnut Hill Lane rather, to a local hospital. I want you to come back out live to the scene here now, just to show you one more thing that's important to note. Thomas Jefferson is right next to a very small elementary school, Walnut Hill Elementary School. You can see perhaps live the playground equipment right there. So of course that added to the fear for families, because an elementary school right next to the high school where this happened. And Chris, before I send it back to you, just remember, this is the second school shooting that's happened in DFW in as many days. Yesterday, we had a shooting at Arlington High School, at Lamar High School in Arlington. Today, at Thomas Jefferson High School in Dallas. I understand we now have some sound or an interview with a student at Thomas Jefferson. Let's take a listen to that.
Not really surprised, because, I mean, stuff happens, you know, but it is what it is, but hopefully they're okay.
I talked to one mother who was here in the parking lot when we arrived. She was afraid because she had not heard from her child who was in the school. We did not see sort of that rush of parents that you often see running up to a campus. Sadly, that's become familiar to us when school shootings occur. Perhaps that's because it was after school had let out, but she was concerned because her daughter hadn't picked up the phone. And again, she just said, you know, this is every parent's worst nightmare, as you can understand. Chris?
Yeah, Teresa, I mean, I got to tell you, when a young man says he's not all surprised that a classmate got shot at school, I mean, that's heartbreaking. And as a parent, these kind of stories have a compounding effect. And I know sometimes teenagers, boy, they can put on that armor and make it seem like everything is going to be okay, but that is a lot harder to do when you're a mom or dad. Thank you so much, Teresa. Thanks for keeping us updated on that. Again, this all happened in the last 90 minutes or so. We'll obviously be adding to the information we have now. Keep the WFAA app handy. We'll push out any new details on the shooting and, of course, keep you updated here on air.